Welcome in Exiles to another video. Today we're taking a look at the Vaal Lightning Strike Behemoth build. This build is absolutely fantastic to play. If you love Vaal skills, if you love Vaal Lightning Strike, you're going to love this build because it's so easy to set up that it's thanks to this Behemoth node here, Sheer Fury. 15% chance that if you gain rage on hit, you gain up to your maximum rage. So pretty much when you spam your Vaal Lightning Strike, you have 10 projectiles going in and out, and you can scale skill effect duration, basically because we have no soul gain prevention. So essentially when you're mapping, fighting bosses, doing anything with this build, you can pretty much, as long as you're hitting monsters, hitting the boss, you can spam your Vaal Lightning Strike. You can fill up an entire arena with Vaal Lightning Strikes, and it's just absolutely insane to play. It's really fun, extremely fast. You get 1,000 rampage stacks. Your armor becomes your attack damage. It's just an all-around super powerful build. You can do T16s, T17s, bossing, you name it. You can do all the content with this build, and of course it has a high ceiling of min-maxing. So if you have a ton of currency to sink into a build, this would be a build that you could pick up and absolutely max it out. There's mirror tier items that you can get on this build that would skyrocket the damage even further. For example, we're using a regular royal plate, almost 6,000 armor, but there are mirror crafted chests with the overcapped fire resistance increases your armor mod, and this pairs extremely well with the Behemoth because of steel willed. We gain 2% increased attack damage per 450 armor, and then you scale your resistances with the untouched soul because the Behemoth cannot use spells. So we don't worry about any kind of mana reservation. We're not trying to fit a bunch of auras on the build. We're not using a bunch of spells and curses and stuff like that. It's pretty much all of our sockets is empty outside of Warcry and our movement spell, and of course our 6-link setup with our weapon. Now this is a really powerful build. A lot of people kind of dismiss the Behemoth as a meme, but the previous build that I did make with this, with the Bone Shatter of Complex Trauma, make it pretty much use almost any skill that you want with the build because it's the attack damage that makes your skills powerful. But the Bone Shatter of Complex Trauma seemed to be the most powerful that I could find on the build. And of course some other trauma stacking stuff was really powerful on the Behemoth. There is a lot of potential on this build that I have not yet discovered. Now there is some trauma stacking stuff you could do with this, but I wanted to go with the Vaal Lightning Strike, and then maybe later I'll try some trauma stacking. But this is the Vaal Lightning Strike build that I want to cover, and it's really cool, fun to play. You get your adrenaline, you got Rampage, you have Onslaught, you have Mage Blood Speed. It's just super fun to play. It's an extremely fun map blaster. You just zoom through maps and spam Vaal Lightning Strikes. Now the interesting thing that I'm doing with my setup is it does have a chance to poison, so I'm scaling some chaos damage on this build. Added chaos damage, and I pair that with Unholy Might, and Unholy Might allows us to wither, and you pretty much will have 15 wither stacks on a ton of monsters. You do a ton of damage on this build, and you can scale your crit super easy. That's probably like the next thing that I'm going to do as I level up and get currency is scale the crit. Power charges, you can get almost 100% crit chance. There are some ways to get 100% crit capped. Then you can start scaling crit multiplier damage super easy with some jewels and stuff like that, and get the damage pretty absurd. At our current stage in the build, the damage is already very considerable to do pretty much most of the content in the game. You can do T17s, T16s, bosses, all the stuff that you want to do. You can pretty much do all the map content that you want to do if you have your setups, juice setups. Of course, you can check out the POB. I'll have that in the description. You can kind of simulate maybe some upgrades that you would want to make to the build. It's an absolute beast of a build if you have a ton of currency. And if you don't have a lot of currency just yet, if you can farm up and get the weapon, that'll get you started. You can also start with a Headhunter. You don't really need a Mage Blood. The Headhunter itself is probably better for juice mapping because you're just getting a ton of Headhunter buffs. But I prefer the Mage Blood because of the quality of life and the steady flow of armor, easy to get a 90 all res, and of course the movement speed. Now, you may be wondering, how do we get 90 all res? On the Behemoth, we don't have no spells, we don't have Fury of Fire. Well, the cool thing about the Behemoth is we can use the Melding of Flesh. The minus 80 to all elemental resistance doesn't really bother us that much because we use Untouched Soul. It's really powerful because every white socket that's empty gives you 18 elemental resistances. And of course, on the Behemoth, like I said, no spells, so we don't worry about filling in our sockets. We just get as many white sockets as we can. We got the red sockets giving us a ton of life. So it's like a 2-for-1 deal. And of course, once you do get an armor overcap fire resistance body armor, that will be even more damage, even more armor, and just overall a huge boost to your damage. The other cool combo that we do use on the build is Corrupted Soul. This gives us some energy shield, and 50% of the non-chaos damage bypasses the energy shield. And we also have energy shield leech, so we're leeching life and energy shield, and it's just really powerful. And of course we have this mod, gain 15 life per enemy hit with attacks, and we have 10 projectiles out and on one cast, and each cast of Vaal lightning strike is 10 rage once with savage intensity. So just imagine you're straight up casting 6 Vaal lightning strikes. That's 60 projectiles, healing for 15 life per hit on enemy hits. It's like hitting a ton of times. You got your energy shield leeching. I'll throw in a map just to show you guys what it looks like, but it's absolutely insane survivability on the build. We have endurance charges, we have fortify, we have tons of armor, and essentially how we get the max res is, of course, we get prismatic skin, we get the armor mastery, soul of steel, and of course these cool little jewels. You can get +2 to maximum fire resistance, and then ruby flask, and that gets 90 all res. We have tons of armor. Our physical mitigation is off the charts. Elemental mitigation is off the charts, and we just have insane map clearing speed. Rampage at 1,000 stacks gives you 50% movement speed. You get more movement speed from Adrenaline, and then Onslaught, Flask. It's just insane amounts of movement speed. And you can even get this even further if you have the currency. Tailwind boots. That'll be my next upgrade. I want to get some boots with Tailwind and elusive effects, stuff like that. Guys, I'm telling you, this build is insane. A lot of people disregard the Behemoth, but this is the easiest way to play Vaal Lightning Strike because of sheer fury and the double dipping of your attack damage. So you're getting a ton of attack damage from your armor as well. So it's just really easy to play. Like, it's not really complicated to set up, and yeah, so far it hasn't been. It has been pretty expensive because of this weapon. Of course, power runes are really expensive, and then of course you have to craft a weapon with the additional socketed gems are supported by. And but to get started, you could probably start this for 200 divs. I would say is a good starting ground. So if you were playing my other Behemoth class or build, you can farm simulacrums with the Bone Shatter Complex Trauma. You can farm maps. I mean, that build is really powerful. You can delve with that build, and you can get to this. You can easily farm this. I easily farmed this in a few days, just doing simulacrums. I was doing rituals. I have a cool ritual idol setup. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see what that is. It's pretty much just a simple ritual setup that allows you to defer all of your choices and buy them super cheap, get a ton of rerolls. You'll make a ton of currency playing ritual, and it's just fun. Like, it's one of my favorite content in the game. I still haven't got a mirror from it yet, but one day I will get a mirror for, or something like extraordinary, like a Mage Blood from the ritual. But outside of that, I think I've covered everything that makes the build work. Of course, I'll have the POB in the description. So let's go ahead and throw in a little map here, and just kind of show you guys essentially what it looks like, just in a simplistic way here. Use Seismic Pride to get more armor. We do buff that buff. And usually just run through. Like your super tank, you don't have to really worry about taking a lot of damage. And you spam your Vaal lightning strikes. As you can see with our rage, it's always bouncing all the way back up to max rage. So you can pretty much cast it as much as you want, as long as we have monsters sitting. And of course the rampage is going off, going absolutely insane. The key stack of rampage are getting faster. The other Adrenaline Onslaught is just like really fun to play. Now I do want to upgrade my boots next. That's going to be the next thing that I do is upgrade my boots, get the Tailwind and Elusive. And then we'll probably make a little video showing that. Showing the max out speed for that. There we have it. You have the shield charge. Throw them a Vaal lightning strikes. Wow, and Behemoth version. This has some really cool potential because you can scale skill effect duration as well on this, and that can make it even better. There is a ring that has skill effect duration on it. There is a jewel that gives you Vaal scales additional skill effect. You can also get skill effect on anointments and off the skill tree. So there's a lot of different ways you can play the build. Man, I love this build. It's so fun to spam in Vaal lightning strike, man. It's really fun. Like it just covers the entire ground. Just all Vaal lightning strike. It just melts everything. Now this is Path of Exile. The time you put into the game and farm currency pays off. Wow, I'm going to be able to level pretty fast with this build in this strat. I just kind of threw some idols together to try this Abyss experience. Seems to be pretty good. I might buy some idols. Okay, let's go on the boss here. Amazing, amazing. So there we have it, guys. This is the Vaal lightning strike build. The Behemoth build. Really fun to play. Super easy to set up. Tons of damage, tons of armor. High, mid-maxing opportunities. So this, if you're looking for a build to play, this is the build to play. Hate forges are pretty cheap. The only expensive thing I would say is probably the armor and the weapon. This is like the most costly pieces to build. Mage Blood is not required. You probably would be better off with the Headhunter, um, just for mapping. But I prefer Mage Blood for quality of life. It's just I like the speed. I like the amount of armor having on my flask up all the time. I also like the Mage Blood, so I do have or Headhunter. I do have some flask in case I want to switch over and play Headhunter style. But I just kind of bounce between Mage Blood and Headhunter. And there we have it. I believe I did go over the Stiffnet flask that sends Rebirth. Basically, with this, it gives you Withered on hit, and any additional physical damage you gain is Chaos damage. And since we're utilizing a lot of Chaos damage, with the chance to poison and of course awaken added Chaos, we get a ton of damage from Wither. And yeah, there we have it, guys. I have another video once I get some more upgrades to the build, and we'll probably push out some more videos on T17, show a T17 map setup. And of course, as I get more currency, more idols, I can show maybe some more juice content for you guys just to get an idea of the build. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy videos like this, so that you don't miss out on future content. Notification on so you don't miss out when I post my videos. And yeah, we have a lot to look forward to. We have Path of Exile. This is going on until April. So we have the rest of this month. We got like 2 weeks, maybe 4 or 5 weeks more of Phrecia League. I love this stuff. And I hope they implement these classes or ascendancies into the core game and somehow get idols into the game, because I love idols. I love Behemoth. Behemoth is like my favorite. I just love the ascendancy. It's so fun to try to build something crazy with this, because it was like people really hated on the Behemoth. And yeah, it's really powerful. And with the right setup, it becomes an actual Behemoth. A lot of people would think it's a meme, but it's not. Like, you can do all the content in the game with this setup. Like, you can get extremely tanky to mitigate to elemental physical damage, and you don't need any spells, no mana reservation, no aura stacking. Like, you don't need a million armor to do insane damage. Like, you skill crit multiplier, you spam Vaal lightning strike. Each it's just insane. If each of your strikes doing a million damage, each projectile they're coming in and out. And of course, you get a Nimbus, so you're not having the return projectile less damage. I mean, it's just insane how powerful you can get this build. And of course, with the scaling with the Withered and Chaos damage, your damage is just insane. And I believe this can do all content. And the ceiling for it is extremely high, so you can min-max as much as you have currency. It's like mirror crafted gear that you can get in these slots. So there we have it, guys. Until our next video, peace out, exiles, and may your farming be great. Find mirrors, find divines, so that you can play this build, because it's absolutely fun. Peace out.